as far as I know, President Trump and Republicans have said they're not cutting Social Security.
They
And
say one thing, but they do the other. There was just
so
news that Trump and Musk, one, have been closing Social Security offices and trying to sell them off, and that already is happening. Two, they're firing Social Security employees. And third, this might be some of the biggest news viewers at home have not heard yet, is that the Trump administration has stated that they want to start cutting people's Social Security benefits off if they don't go into an office to quote unquote verify that they aren't fraudsters. Now, look, seniors in my district for generations have been able to call in, have been able to make sure that their identities are verified. But if Trump and Musk are trying to kick people off of the Social Security rolls and get away with it, part of what they're trying to do is say people are fraudsters because seniors and folks with disabilities and people in rural areas can't get to a Social Security office, but sometimes they're going to be closing the Social Security offices that are nearby our seniors.
I haven't heard that what you just said, but as far as cutting benefits, I haven't heard any Republican talk about that. I have.
Well, Republicans have been asked whether they would condemn Elon Musk's statements that were on national television the other day, saying he wants to, quote, eliminate billions of dollars from Social Security. He called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. And so, look, there have been many Republicans dating back to George W. Bush who've tried to privatize Social Security, who've tried to cut from Social Security. And I already hear Republican members of Congress talking about raising the age, right, raising the retirement age. It's a consistent thing I hear from my Republican colleagues. They don't want to call it a Social Security cut, but they say, oh, well, those people were fraudsters because they couldn't get into an office. Or, well, you know what? Folks that have been working their entire life and contributing to Social Security, they've got to wait a few extra years to get it. To me, those are all different forms of Social Security cuts. And I hear advocacy for that all the time. And I'm pushing back. I believe we can secure Social Security for generations to come and, in fact, expand benefits if we do one simple thing. If you make over $400,000 a year right now, I don't know if you or viewers at home know, you pay a lower rate into Social Security than everybody else does. That's absurd. I think people that make over $400,000 a year should have to pay the same rate as school teachers and firefighters and policemen. And that would guarantee that we keep Social Security solvent for many more years and could actually expand benefits for seniors.
Let me ask you about Medicaid, because I've talked with various Republican members of Congress about it. And what I've heard from them is they still want people who are, pregnant moms, the poor, the disabled to receive Medicaid benefits. It's the able-bodied people that they say don't belong on Medicaid. They can go into the healthcare, Affordable Care Act system. What's your thought on that?
Look, they can say that they don't want to be kicking folks off of healthcare, but if they vote, just like they did a few weeks ago, to cut nearly $1 trillion from Medicaid, they know it's going to kick people off the rolls. Working class people that work 40 and 50 hours a week to barely make it. Look, I would love for those folks to be able to afford private health insurance if we just pay them decently. If we just say, take up my bill to raise the minimum wage from the poverty 725 wage up towards $17 an hour. In fact, I believe that we could actually save money if we go to a Medicare for all system and make sure everybody just has access to healthcare. But the most important thing for viewers at home to know is that Republican members of Congress are saying out of one side of their mouth they don't want to kick folks off the rolls, and on the other part are cutting nearly $1 trillion from Medicaid. And the reason they're doing it, it's all part of one bill, is to pay for a multi-trillion-dollar tax cut where almost all of the benefit goes to the richest people on earth and the biggest corporations in this country. I would support making sure that we have an even bigger tax cut for working class people, but not a penny to the people that are making not just tens of millions of dollars a year, but hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Those people could pay more in taxes and we could cover every single pregnant mom. We could cover and make sure there's health care for every single working class person, including when you lose a job. Look, we don't have to go and cut health care for working class people who are already paying way too much. If we don't, we just stop giving the tax cuts to the billionaires. I don't get it. I mean, frankly, a poll just came out. 70% of Republican voters oppose cuts to Medicaid, but 100% of House Republicans just voted for them. I just can't square that.